because I don't want to jinx it. So we're just going to jump right in. All right? Awesome. Hi, Marilena. Hi, Lori. So I have a topic for today, but before I jump in, hi, Kristen. Danielle. Hi, everybody. Good morning. So good to see you guys. It's almost like we're all hanging out. What if we could all just get together for coffee one morning and do like a live right at 7? I'm going to jump in because I have a feeling I'm going to get a card that will validate what I want to share today. So let's take a look at that. Let's see what we get. Transformation. You have the power of love. You use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. Transformation. Yeah, I would say that that's kind of what's happening. This lifetime is a part of the progression of your soul. The conscious thought that you are aware of right at this moment is forever a part of the evolution of your divine self. Just as a caterpillar eventually becomes a butterfly, you too are slowly awakening to your true birthright as a spiritual being. Boom. As you go through this awakening, others will see your light and feel your love. This soul-to-soul connection raises your vibration, allowing transformation to occur at an even quicker pace. Like attracts like, so be sure that the energy you are sending out is positive. Negative energy coming back to you will slow your growth. As you advance into this new awareness of yourself, it is very normal to have a sense of confusion and dislocation in your career, with your family, and even within yourself. The material things in your life won't carry the same emotional attachment they used to. Your relationship to yourself and others, and your understanding of your place in the universe will change. You will come to realize just how important you are in the grand scheme of things. There is a finite number of souls experiencing this earth dimension at this time, and you are one of them. Your contributions matter more than you'll ever know. Your contributions matter more than you'll ever know. This is what I wanted to share. We outgrow our shell of a caterpillar, allow ourselves to transform. Now, remember, though, that during that transformation process, a caterpillar completely secludes themselves from the outside world of caterpillars. If other caterpillars are looking at him, they're going to think he's crazy for going into that cocoon thing until it happens to them themselves. And why I bring that up is that one thing that we have to have with us on this journey is an awareness of ourselves and self-love. The truth of the matter is that when we spend our lives trying to fulfill other people's expectations, even our own unconscious expectations for ourselves, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of what we think we're supposed to do isn't even really what anyone wants us to do. It's just what we think they want us to do. So we attach to this idea of who we're supposed to be. And that becomes the frame with which we look at the world. And what happens is, of course, we get off of our center. We become inauthentic. It becomes harder. We start to, become more attached to material things because they're filling some hole in us. We start to feel powerless. So we don't step up. We don't speak up because we don't think we matter. And that's where the self-love has to come in. And it's a very interesting thing because you'd think it'd be easy to love yourself. It's not, rocket science. You just show yourself love and appreciation the same you would show anyone else. But we have been so furiously conditioned to be obedient, to listen to what our parents say, to listen to what society says, that to love ourselves does mean going against some of what other people want for us. And that is an absolute, think about it on a evolutionary level. We rely on our parents. We rely on our country, on our community to sustain us, to keep us alive. So as children, we don't even really have a choice but to emulate what it is that our parents do. But as adults, as caterpillars becoming butterflies, we can start to unpack the things in our lives that are not serving. and are not aligned with our truest selves. To do that requires that we step back, love ourselves first. And as I said, that's not always easy. Why is it not so easy? Well, because for one, we're taught that it's selfish. I know when I was called selfish by my high school boyfriend on my birthday, no less. I'll never forget him saying, "You can come and just sit down, okay? Do you think you're going to have a chocolate lollipop right now? Come here, you look so cute." Can I show them?
No.
Okay, well, you have to wait until after you're done with breakfast this morning, okay? You're not having that until later. He comes in with a chocolate pop. Sorry for the interruption. Let me see if I can get back to it. So one of the things, it's very hard for us to love ourselves because we've been conditioned for so long to give our power away, to not own our love. And also that it's, yes, being selfish. So that's where I was going. It's considered selfish to love yourself. And like I said, when I was in high school, I remember being called selfish by my high school boyfriend and feeling like that was the absolute worst thing that anyone could say to someone. And also just like brought up all this shame because, you know, of course, I'm sure he was right on some levels, many levels, I'm sure. But at the time, you know, I was so identified as like a people pleaser and my identity came from making everyone else happy. So when I was told I was selfish, it shattered me. And it took me a long time to recognize that actually that's not a negative thing. And I still struggle with that, of course, because I'm human and I'm trying to live in this society. And of course, I want to be viewed as being like a team player and a giver and all those things. But the truth of the matter is we have to be the ones to show others what's possible for self-love. And to do that, you know, requires a certain level of strength. So yeah, loving yourself is hard. In fact, I would say that it's probably the hardest thing that we have to do as spiritual beings. And it really sets off the entire domino effect of everything else in your life working out the way that you've always envisioned it to. You have to love yourself first. It has to start there. If you don't have that sense of, you know, and the other thing I wanted to talk about is I think there's a lot of narcissists. You know, you think that they're a narcissist if you love yourself too much. Like, oh, I don't want to come across as like a, you know, bad person. No, honey, this is not the time. You may ask me when I am done. Shh. What? Okay, well, this is not the time, honey. Okay. All right. So I kind of lost my train of thought. So Chase, do you understand why we can't interrupt mommy? Okay, thank you. Gotta learn, right? It's one of those things. Yeah, so we think that we're narcissistic if we love ourselves. That becomes, Chase, I love you. I love that Asher's not the who doesn't love themselves at all. They don't even recognize that they need love, because true love, real love, is when you can give and receive. Giving and receive. That is, receiving, I think, is one of the hardest things for us to do as women, to really sit back and allow someone to love us and not be the one to give all the time. If you're ever in an opportunity to receive love, let that flow, you know, as long as it feels in your, you know, authentic nature. If somebody loves you, don't push them away. Don't tell them that, you know, unless there's like clinging happening and it's not positive for you, it doesn't feel good. But as long as it feels good, there's no reason to not allow that love in, whether it's from a friend or from whoever. But of course, there's times when it doesn't feel good, and then you gotta walk away. But ultimately, you know, as I said, loving yourself is the transition point. It is that moment where you go from being, you know, kind of blown about by the wind in your life to seeing that this is your path, this is your truth. And again, it brings back to your authenticity. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of these comments. So Kristen, you said, people tell me all the time that I love myself too much, but I just smile and say I'm my number one fan. I love that. And really the reason why they even bring it up is because they're jealous. They wish they could appreciate themselves the way that you do. And that light that you bring out, again, light attracts light. You're bringing out for everyone to see and for them to recognize that it's possible for them as well. I was called selfish by adult children when I started to say no. It hurt at first, but not now. I love this quote, Lori, that I think has helped me so much. The only people who get angry when we start to set boundaries are the people who were benefiting from us not having any. And self-love creates boundaries naturally because you know what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. And it does create contention in relationships, absolutely. However, in other relationships, you'll find that you'll have more access to people who are like-minded because you let go. Like nature abhors a vacuum, So if you are releasing the negative from your life, it's guaranteed that goodness will come in and fill that space. So as you release relationships that aren't working because of the power dynamic and that structure, more positive relationships are going to come in and fill those holes, or not holes, but those spaces in your life and in your psyche. And yes, I didn't have a name for what I was doing. It's self-love. Yes, Lori, that's exactly it. You are loving yourself. And that is more powerful than anything that we can do as spiritual beings. Because again, if we want to change the world, if we want other people to look at us as examples and to inspire them, and even if it's just in a super small way, at the end of the day, not everyone is going to be coming on Facebook Live every day like this crazy person. I do this because this feels natural for me, not because I expect you to do it or anyone else to do it. This is just for me, what I know is my path. Your path may be that you're a really amazing, cook, and a really amazing dancer, a really amazing chef, a really amazing, mother and teacher, whatever it is that your heart feels the most aligned with, that's your path. And to discover that, self-love is what you need. So I need to realize that I'm worthy of love. I am always surprised when people love me, like really me, why? Even my parents and husband, I feel like they love me because they have to and not because they want to. It's weird. Oh my gosh, Danielle, I completely relate to that. I've found that this experience I'm going through with my breakup and thinking about like dating in the future and all of that, I certainly struggle with the idea of accepting love and allowing someone to just love me. And then I have moments where I'm like, you know what? I am pretty amazing. It's come that far. I actually do have thoughts like that now where I'm like, you know what? You should love me because I love me. I love me. I think I'm pretty awesome because I love on other people. I am a giver, but not in a way that it's exhausting me, not in a way out of obligation, right? So all these things do tie together. I've inspired 2 of my friends to come to yoga with me and or have some self-love time every day. And I was so happy to hear they were inspired by me. So simple, but felt so good. Yes. And you're so not alone, Danielle. So not alone. None of us are alone in this. This is the hardest thing for women, hands down, and also the most important, right? These two, and that's actually really what the entire Conscious Mama Cocoon thing I've been kind of teasing to you guys. That's what that time is about. It's about 4 months of self-love to gain clarity and awareness of ourselves. So then we can move into creating a business and getting paid by doing what we love. For going from there. But we have to discover what that is first. I've been having discovery calls with different people, one of whom wants to get into equine therapy. Another one wants to just take 2 weeks off and just go to Bali for that time. Another one is, what was the one yesterday? She knows that she's meant to do like kind of what I'm doing here and doesn't know how to quit her day job. And we're strategizing on how she can get her business up and running. Another one, all of these women are ready, and I know that all of you guys watching feel the same way. And part of that is letting go of others' expectations and instead coming back to what's true for ourselves. And that is a journey and a half. I talked about that a little bit yesterday, where like, you know, one of my, the women I follow, and she's a friend of mine now, but she talks about this so much that she has to definitely take time away from everybody to figure out what it is that makes her feel most alive. And we all need that time. So I'm actually taking that time, potentially not this weekend, but next weekend. And I'm going to try to take a little hiatus from my life and go to an Airbnb and write for 3 days and turn off my internet connection and just be. And I'm really excited about that. And back to the card. It's a journey of transformation. It's a caterpillar to a butterfly. So, all right, you all, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I see Melissa's on here too. I didn't get a chance to say hi to her. I don't know who else I missed, but just letting you know that I love you guys and I'm here. You know, I've been doing 25-minute discovery calls for free for people that anyone who wants just like to feel a little bit unstuck and have a purpose or a step in what direction they're supposed to go in. That's what I'm here for. So I love you all, and I'll post my my scheduling link so you can go ahead and book something with me. All right. I love you guys. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.